Our guest for the next hour is going to be a senator. Senator Tabitha Mutinda is a nominated senator. She's the vice chair of the Finance and Budget Committee of Senate. These are the ones that basically look at how much money is going to the counties and how much money is going per county, and they also look back at how much the counties how the counties are spending their money. Sawa. We'll talk about this issue, which is right here on page 4 of the Standard this morning. Governors are pushing for a total shutdown of counties to force the National Treasury to release funds to counties as a biting cash crunch threatens to bring vital operations to a halt. As the wait continues, county workers claim they are barely surviving while others are contemplating quitting the workforce as they grapple with huge debts. Council of Governors Finance, Planning and Economy Committee Chair Fernandez Barasa says the National Treasury owes counties 104 billion shillings for 3 months. Barasa said governors are unable to perform their duties effectively and implement their development projects, adding that critical services in the counties are at a standstill. The governors had their agendas and development projects to implement. It's becoming difficult due to erratic disbursement of funds, which has made many counties accrue pending bills. Yesterday, Trans Nzoia's George Natembeya said that the only solution to the financial woes is a total shutdown of counties. Natembeya asked the Council of Governors to shut down the devolved units, claiming major activities in counties have been paralyzed thanks to the delay in the release of shareable revenue by the National Treasury. This is not a new story. It is like, you wake up in the morning, the sun will rise from the east. You wake up in the morning, it will be chilly and cold in the morning.
Yep.
You wake up in the morning, you'll find the morning dew. You wake up, you wake up in the morning, I wake up in the morning, I wash my face, I brush my teeth.
I comb my hair, I wear my clothes, I polish my shoes. Hey.
National Treasury does not send money to counties. It's an everyday thing. It's like we're used to this thing. What's happening in this country of ours?
My dear?
We will come to the other side of Fernandez Barasa, who is the chair, who was speaking about shutting down counties, was in the headlines yesterday as leading in amount of money spent by his county for hospitality, and the control of budget saying, look, hospitality, travel and all, it's just extravagance. We'll come to that, what they do with the money, all right? But there's an agreement in the Constitution that we, Kenyan people, pay tax to the government. That's an agreement we have made with our people. And we also say that the amount of money collected shall be shared 2 ways. National government and county government.
Yeah.
And there are laws in place that say this is how much money is going to. If the national government is brushing its teeth, combing its hair,
polishing its shoes,
why can't it send money to the counties on time? Is there any justification why not a single shilling, that, for example, has been sent for the last 3 months? Cash crunch?
Look, I'm sorry, but please, see, you like me.
I do.
Okay. And you want me to be happy?
Yes, I do.
You don't like it when I'm angry?
No, I don't like it.
You just want me to be at peace?
Yes.
Okay.
I prefer it when you're peaceful.
Thank you. If you do like that situation, don't tell me that there's a cash crunch when people are drinking 24 billion. Don't. Or people are eating 24 billion or traveling with 400 and something million per county. Don't tell me that there's no money in the treasury. Don't tell me. Tell me something else that somebody planted maize and it grew and they harvested. Tell me those things. Don't tell me that the reason why you have not sent money to the counties to fulfill crucial function is because there is a cash crunch. No. Because you spent emergency money the other day of how much? 4 billion. Don't tell me. Shh. So,
you know what it means is that functions of the national government, many of them are running, particularly recurrent expenditure. Okay? The government at the national level is able to pay its workers. The national government is able to buy its mandasi and guashe for its offices. The national government is able to fuel its vehicles for its staff and senior officials. The national government is able to do all these other things. The county governments are struggling to do the same thing. County governments are struggling to pay workers. County governments, Kina Fernandez Barasa and the other governors are struggling to eat mandasi
and travel
and Doma and come to Nairobi. For example, there was a COG meeting yesterday when they were speaking. Do you know how much they struggle to come to Nairobi? Because there's no money. But if the national government is able to do it, the money should also go to the county. Let's now start fighting. How are you spending the money in the counties? That's a different conversation, and it's a justifiable and a constant conversation that we must have. But the same way we have that conversation for counties, we should also have the same conversation for government.
National level.
At national government, what are you doing with our money? Are you buying flowers and mandas and doma and guashe? Na chai ya masiwa, wewe kunywa chai ya masiwa, unakunywa nini? Unachukua koko, iko koko. Unataka milo, iko milo. Unataka kahawa, iko kahawa. What?
That's the conversation that we're having.
Yes.
That's why I said, please don't make me angry, please.
Our guest is here. Senator Tabitha Mutinda is the Vice Chair of the Finance and Budget Committee of the Senate. Good morning, Senator.
Good morning.
How are you? Oh, hold on. You're on the wrong mic. There you go. No. Wait. Okay.
You good?
Yes.
All right.
Say good morning again.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Karibu sana to Kenya's biggest conversation.
Asante
Good to
sana.
have you back here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a couple of minutes late. Apologize to Kenyans. Apologize.
My sincere apologies. Yes. Sana.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
We will accept it. Let me give you the proverb and then we get into our conversation. This week the proverbs are from Senegal. City says hi. He sent his greetings remotely.
Oh.
He's enjoying some quiet time, chill time. He's recharging his batteries. He's on holiday.
Awesome. It's healthy.
Yes.
It's great.
Yes.
Yes.
Amesema tukusalimie sana.
Nimesalimika sana.
And we give you the proverb from Senegal. Today's proverb says, to spend the night in anger is better than to spend it in repentance. I know, right? To spend the night in anger is better than to spend it in repentance.
Sorry, I just had a light bulb moment. But please, Senator, go ahead.
Wow. I mean, it's two-way scenario in terms of, you might be fasting and choose to fast and be in prayers. These are things that we do each and every day. And it can't be, days cannot be all the same. At times you have to make the tough decisions. And it's the journey, it's the story that we shall tell during those difficult moments. And we have to go through these difficult moments. At times, what is important is the end result. And so, yes, you can be, repenting and you're fasting, because you've decided to put some things aside. There are no results that come easy. You have to set some things aside and make the tough decisions. And in every tough decision, there must be a loss. The loss in this might be the anger part of it, but at the end of the day, there'll be results.
Eh? Okay. It's a perspective.
Correct.
It's a perspective. Like City always says, there's no right or wrong interpretation of a proverb. Eh?
True.
Proverb is given, and then there's a way in which
You interpret
you interpret
differently.
it. Yeah, in a
Yes.
context, in different contexts of interpretation. That's why we love it when we hear different contexts.
Correct.
Me, I'm still floating on this proverb.
I had a light bulb moment.
Light your bulb.
Because I thought about a situation that I was in last week and I really wanted something to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually went home angry because it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But then I realized that the people that I was supposed to be with later, on that Friday when I really wanted it to happen, got into a spot of trouble and there were things all over the place. And if I had been in that position,
Then?
I would have been repenting, regretting at night if I had been. So I went to bed angry, but I was in a better position because I didn't go.
Okay. So here you've taken repentance to regret. So it's better to sleep angry
Then regretful.
than to sleep
Or to
regretful.
have to apologize or be feeling bad if you didn't do it.
Another context.
Correct.
Good ones.
Yes.
Asan sana. Thank you very much, ladies. I am still floating.
Floater. Okay, sawa.
Senator,
Yes.
your committee is a busy committee.
Very.
Okay.
Very.
Governors, you saw them yesterday, they're like, no money, 3 months. Tunafunga hii kitu, kila mtu aende nyumbani. Okay? But this is not a new conversation. We keep having this conversation every time.
Yeah.
Now, this particular time, things have been a bit different. First of all, Parliament had passed a finance bill, had
Yeah.
passed an appropriations bill,
Yeah.
had gone all those things, and then they had to retract. They had to relook at the budget. And that meant that we have to relook at the division of revenue. We have to relook at how much then money goes to counties. Where are we at when it comes to the division of revenue and the county allocation of revenue?
We're at the amendment stage. Yes, during the Gen Z protest, the finance bill was not ascended to. In that regard, the president wrote to the Minister of Finance and directed him to do a proposal on division of revenue for budget cuts, of course, because now things were the way they became.
Yeah.
And apparently that took place. Remember, we had passed DORA, we had passed division of revenue, and it was not easy even to pass it at 401 billion. We had considered so many factors for us to settle at 401. Our proposals as a committee at first was 415 billion to the counties. Simply because we were coming from a point of, we had passed policies. Case example is NSSF contributions, which had increased. These are recurrent expenditures to the employees. This cost needs to be catered for by the county governments. And the amounts for NSSF are as high as 3 billion. We had the KIPES. Annually.
Across all the counties.
Across all the 47 counties. We also have the KIPES project that was a partnership between the national government and the county government, a 50-50 share. And for KIPES, the amount is 11.7 billion. We had our good people, that is the CHPs in all the 47 counties, cutting across. Still, the same 50-50 share. National government doing an input, same case to the county government. And for the CHPs, it was about 4 billion. Among others, the annual salary increment. These are costs that the counties have to cater for.
And their new costs.
And the new costs that have been
in this year.
implemented in this year, that policies have been put in place, and they need to be adhered to. And looking at how things have been, and looking at their own source revenue, they can't meet this. So hence, we decided, let us give them 415, something that we also passed in the chambers. And apparently, of course, we had to go to mediation. We went to mediation, and we settled for 401. It was tough, but at least. And we closed that chapter. Apparently, out of the occurrence of what happened, the president could not assent. The the Ministry of Finance, I say decided. And I use the word decided because we felt as a committee, they did not satisfactorily explain to us the reason as to why they did a 20 billion cut. They didn't provide the simulation. They didn't explain the facts. Which areas then do we cut? Do we send the CHPs home? Do we stall the projects that had been started? Will there be value for money? Do we not pay the NSSF contributions? So where is this budget cut? What needs to be really reduced? Putting in mind that the counties end up incurring additional costs, like even commercial interest costs from the borrowings that they do from the banks due to delayed disbursements. So all the stakeholders that we had, they all supported the 401. Only Treasury stuck to the 380, and from where we are, we've totally refused that, because then we will be killing and we will have wasted it's in a layman, in a simple terminology, it's just starting a project, putting the project is worth 100 million, you put 60 million, and then you say you won't add the 40 million.
Yeah.
So where do we live? The people, this project cannot assist them. Money has already been put. It becomes a stalled project. There's no value. It's wastage. And that's where now we start having the notion and the issues that are there. Like there's wastage in the counties. Why? Because people will go and see stalled projects. And these are some of the effects. So as we speak, the bill is on the amendment. Of course, now it's on the floor of the House, and I'm liking it because all members are supporting that we should still retain the 401. What's our take in terms of the revenue share and the national government share? The national government share, you look at it, is at 2.23 trillion, and we are saying, why can't the ministry just remove the 20 billion from the national share and distribute it across all their MTDS, the ministries, a little amount, like even 2 or something, and then they bear that. They cut costs from that and let the counties be. Because otherwise we will look back and we will have lost a lot if we continue lowering what we are giving counties. You look at the financial year 2014-2015, the percentage was close to 21, almost 22%. Right now, as we speak, last financial year, it's about 16%. It's going lower,
it's dropping
and lower.
as
And
our
why?
budget rises.
Yes,
The money
Then
that
we'll
goes
end
to
up
the
having
counties reduces.
corruption taking place.
Can I ask
how
you-
do people?
Yeah.
How do people give contracts worth millions, and then their salaries are delayed? How they survive?
This is true. So can we look at a rationalization perspective that when this is being sat at to look, there's budgets that have been done, each county, because there's a whole process, there's a whole period of time where each county is doing their budgets, they go through public participation, people come and contribute towards what they feel is important to be done, the counties then come together, they have their CIDPs, right? They come out and say, this is what we are going to need.
Correct.
It is then further taken to another round table, of course, where you sit as the vice chair, and everybody says, okay, this is what we've budgeted, this is how it has been rationalized, this is what we're going to put. And it is agreed on across board,
Yes.
I would assume.
Yes.
That right until the person or the people who pay out the money, it is agreed that this is what we're actually going to do. Now, taking into consideration the rationalization process that happens, where is the bottleneck here? Whereby then, if you're saying 100 million should go to counties, then at the end of the day we have 60 million, and then somewhere at the end of the fiscal year we see that money doesn't go through. What happens? Is it just an exchequer problem? Or is there a direct and deliberate move to throttle money going to the counties, which in my view then would lower the expectation of devolution? What's the problem right there?
There are two problems, actually. One from the national government, and that is more specific from the Ministry of Finance, where for the longest there has been a huge, delay. And even as we speak currently, as at now, there's delay by the ministry to disburse the funds and disburse them on time. Then this affects a lot in terms of the projects that are ongoing, delayed salaries for the staff, and then of course delayed services to the people. So that is that problem as far as the national government is concerned. Solution, I'm happy we have the new minister, John Badi. And I'm saying I'm happy because one is an economist, and he's been just a recent member of the National Assembly. He's a vast, and he's able to understand. He's been there in the House, know. And so the last, I think 2 weeks ago, he appeared before my committee, and we addressed the same issue of delays. I'm happy that he confirmed that before the end of this month, is going to ensure he does a 32 billion transfer to the counties. And I'm happy still is appearing before Senate today, this morning, to answer to the finance questions. Apparently, the former minister was very good at appearing in our committee. We worked very well at the committee level. But at the chamber level, he never appeared at the chamber. So the fact that the current CS is looking forward to engage with us, of course, on these matters of finance and ensuring that, of course, countries will get their monies on time, I'm happy that we're starting with him promptly. Now, the other problem now on the other side is the issue of it's political. Political in the sense that when a new government comes in place, you find that if it's of course it's a new governor now on the seat, so you find that he or she doesn't want, in most cases, to continue with the projects that have been there that had stalled, simply because, of course, the first or the previous governor already took credit. He said, "This is my project." So he or she feels that if I continue with this project, then it will not be my baby project. It will be, I would not really own it fully. The other thing is these issues of probably the contractors. Of course, the contractor who's been on site needs to continue with the project. He's the one who was awarded the contract. Issues start cropping in. Maybe this contractor was supporting this. So it becomes political, which is unconstitutional and which is unfair. Because who ends up suffering? The mwananchi ends up suffering. They end up not getting services as required. We've seen scenarios, and I'm very saddened, but I'm happy the Committee of Health really takes up this matter. The issue of even health, whereby hospitals have stalled in terms of their completion, in terms of their equipment that needs to be equipped. But a building is a shell. And you audit, during audit process, you realize millions of money have been used.
Oh, yes.
But simply because it is Governor XX who, opened this, and even when you look at there's
a plaque there that says
with somebody's
it was
name.
opened by, Governor so and so. So you find that there's delay. They almost want to start their own new projects. And that's where, we are losing. That's where we are having some of these challenges that you see are taking place.
They have threatened to shut down operations. Well, they have threatened this many times before. Many. Okay. The National Treasury, I'm sure now is just get used to. Wamefanya nini? Watazima.
Zimeni basi.
So there are various ways of looking at this conversation. And I always like saying, let's not conflate issues. We can bring a conversation here and say, but why are counties not raising their own revenues, own source revenues to higher levels? That's a conversation, yes. It's a justifiable conversation, yes. The money that goes to counties, how are they spending it? Look, the Control of Budget is telling us they're cooling chai and mandas, and they're traveling all over the country and spending so much money. Yeah. How they're spending the money, that's another issue. And those are all good issues. And then there's a shareable revenue, which is also in law as a source of financing and funding county operations. Let's not mix those three. Let's deal with one at a time.
Correct.
Today, let's deal with this one. There is shareable revenue.
Correct.
That is determined at national level. Governors sit together with the National Treasury chaired by the Deputy President. They agree, this is it. As IBEC, let's agree, let's negotiate and say, pesa ngapi itapatikana. We have seen the chair of IBEC in the last year's budget, he said, even if you beat us and whip us, hakuna pesa tutapata. This is what we have. We have now seen in the last negotiations on division of revenue, just like you've told us what happened, there was, the money that even the Commission on Revenue Allocation had proposed. There's what had been proposed by the Senate, and there's what ended up being the money that is to go to counties.
Correct.
Now, again, there's a reduction of that by an extra 20 billion shillings.
Yes.
Looks to me like there's an attempt to not support devolution. And it's a deliberate attempt.
Correct.
Let me give you the examples that I mean. So if you look at the justification that's given at national level, on how much money will go to counties. They'll say, so the shareable revenue may be 380, but the total money that goes to counties may be 420. Because there's going to be an extra 40 billion shillings that we are going to put in as national government to go and support counties as conditional grants. Conditional grant for building industrial parks. Conditional grant for supporting health workers through CHPs. Conditional grant for building markets. Conditional grant. Those are county functions that the national government is purporting to do as feeling philanthropic to counties. But they're holding the monies. Why not put the money for building markets into money that goes to counties? Why not put money for fertilizer into money that goes to counties? Or the entirety of the budget on health that supports health workforce into counties? Why does the national government have to pay CHPs? Why?
Correct.
Why not give the money to the counties so they can pay the CHPs in total?
You should join Senate.
I've been there since 2013.
I mean, I'm liking the understandability and the same conversation we have each and every day, asking as to why some of these devolved functions, the monies are not transferred to the counties. Look at the issues of health. Health is devolved, and yet we see our medical practitioners on strike due to delayed salaries. We're also very saddened. That's early this week, I think, if I'm not wrong, on Monday or something, the young, beautiful, intelligent intern,
Yes.
a doctor, I think, who commits suicide due to work frustrations. I'm not sure the exact issue, but according to the socials, they say that she never got her dues on time. Very frustrating, you know. And it's like we are killing devolution. It's not really, the national government is not fully supporting. Same case to the agricultural issue. It's devolved. But still, the national government is holding the bigger cake, the bigger share. And that's why in the earlier start, I said monies that should be going to the national government, this deduction, this 20 billion deduction that they are removing from the division of revenue, then they should be removing from the national and redistribute it to the different ministries. Last week, I think, I don't know, was on which media, but I also said that in the near future, we might have very few people interested in even becoming the governors. I'm privileged to also, not only being the Vice Chair of Finance, to also sit in the other committee that does audit. It's called PIC. It's audit as far as special funds are concerned, the grants, the issue of the same also revenue. And you look at the audits and honestly, counties are going concern. Big problems. And governors have to answer to the queries of the previous governors. And we are at the stage whereby we've even recommended and summoned some of the former governors, one of them being Charity Ngilu, the former governor for Kitui, because of the issue of Kikotech. It looks like a crime scene that was taking place. Apart from that, you look at how losses have taken place and these institutions are still ongoing. So I wonder even the interest of governorship moving forward because of the problems that are there. But we hope if these budget cuts are not going to take place to the counties, probably and hopefully the current governors who are in place are going to change this narrative. There's been loopholes as far as on-source revenue is concerned. The targets, even what they are represented to us in terms of the estimations from the different counties, they are not. Most of them are not meeting that. There was a proposal to have an e-system that cuts across all the 47 counties. That is standard. That is able to assist in ensuring that they maximize on-source revenue from the counties. Because as we speak right now, without that, then of
You don't
course,
even
the
know
small
where the
loopholes
loopholes
that are
are.
there
Yep.
are causing funds to be lost.
Yeah.
So, in a nutshell, from the look of things, there's war for funds.
Yeah.
Senate, we don't have any funds. That's fine. We have some small fund, which is called the oversight fund, just to be able to assist in ensuring we are able to look at the projects that have been implemented by these governors. Are they running? Are they, working? What's the status? But there is war sort of between where we're coming from, the CDF, Kitty, the county government, because the National Assembly Budget Committee, when they also send these amendments to us, you realize the narrative is governors are just eating the money. We are looking at a county as if it's an it's a one entrepreneurial institution for this particular governor. This governor is eating the money. We are not really looking at the other team players, the CECs, all the employees from the lower cadre to the highest rank that need to be paid, that are working in these county governments, and their dues need to be paid and paid on time. We are just narrowing it to one individual, but I've also really challenged the governors and asked them to always have continuous engagements and also push on other matters that have really been a thorn. For example, the issue of pending bills. Oh, this one has been something else. Their response was that there was a committee for pending bills that was to verify, because you realize there are some that tunasema kwa Kiswahili hewa, so the supply was hewa. So that verification, which needs to come to a conclusion. Nairobi is leading with the highest pending bills.
Yeah.
So if you continue and cut them, because for Nairobi they were to get an additional around 20 billion. If they also increase their own source of revenue and they have their stake a bit higher, maybe, of course, they're going to try and sort some of these issues that are there, especially the issue of pending bills. Then, because if we then don't sort, then money will not be circulating. Our people will always be crying.
So, yes, that does make sense. But from an oversight perspective, would there not be need to ensure that the money that does go to counties is actually well accounted for? Because I can hear the frustration on one side when, okay, we know counties have not received money in this financial year. We know that CS Mbadi has said, okay, 32 billion will go to the counties, in a few clicks. We get that. But then just a few days ago, we've also seen that counties have had lavish spending reports of lavish spending when it comes to things like travel and other luxuries. So how do we play one, from an oversight point of view, how do we ensure that even this little precious fund that is actually going to counties is secured and accounted for? What's the insistence
Correct.
on that?
A very, very good question. Even before I respond, allow me to add this, that my good friend who had talked about 380 and then maybe 40, I don't know, conditional grant and all this. The 401 billion is in the constitution. 15% is the share for the counties.
The minimum.
It's not negotiable. It's not a request. It's there in the law. As far as the 85% share is there for the national government. The other funds, in terms of the grants, their own source revenue, that's money that is also there independently. Now, there has been a misunderstanding from my view, whereby at times the stakeholders and also the people ask, then Senate, when you keep on saying that there are these issues that are there, stalled project, pending bills, what do you do and what are you doing? Let me make it clear, because the same question that now you're asking. In our committees, especially the oversight committees, that is PAC and PIC, we have stakeholders. One of those stakeholders is the Auditor General's office, where we have the auditors. We have the control of budget or representative, Treasury, Ministry of Treasury. And on top of all, we have a representative from EACC. Now, when we cite that there's an illegality or a forensic audit needs to be conducted, as a committee, as senators, we recommend to the relevant body. Now, in this scenario, when we look at, because we are not experts in terms of documentation, is this document forged or not, but in the event that we are able to note that, then we immediately do those recommendations and ask EACC to probe the matter. We've done our part. We've done the recommendation. We've told them, give us a report. Go further, go deeper, bring out these issues, analyze them. You are the experts in these fields. You know, you are in a better position to get the forensic experts, also for documentation, to authenticate if this document is original or not, because it could just be there for the sake of the audit, but it's not a genuine document, so that you also give us feedback and take the necessary action. If EACC would fast track most of these recommendations that they get for the county governments, for the governors in short, we will not actually be where we are. So you find that the stakeholders, there's delay, because for us, we've done our part. And I've given you an example of the recommendation that we did when the current governor for Kitui, that is Governor Malombe, appeared. And we were auditing as far as Kikotech issue is concerned. And we looked at the issues, we analyzed, and we did a recommendation. And we said EACC to look into this matter, but we said we are summoning him to come and also clarify, because the governor referred to the former, government and all that. So we are actioning, but where does our mandate stop? It stops at saying, this is our recommendation. Proceed and execute this. Bring feedback to us or take action, because that is enough when we've done that recommendation. And that's where our mandate stops at. Yes. So we've done our part.
Does it extend to then seeking this agency that you've sent recommendations to, say EACC, to ask for periodic reports? What's the progress of implementation of our recommendation?
Correct.
And how often do you then call them back and say, this was our report, which we handed over to you 6 months ago. Where are you with this investigation? Are you completing the investigation?
Yeah, we do follow-ups. And you find that these matters are not, they're quite heavy matters. And the challenge you have is the time challenge. But we keep on pushing so that those matters can be closed and come to a closure. We've seen a few governors who have, like the former governor for Samburu, last month, but one or something, the court took action and is liable. We've seen of the current CS, also the courts asked him to, to do some payments as far as these cases were concerned. What I can say is that in few years to come, as we continue, more governors will be brought to book. More governors will be brought to book. And that's why I earlier reiterated and said, moving forward, if the current governors do not change the narrative of corruption, of looting that has been seen, the opulence that we've seen, then there would be less interest, because nobody would want to move from the position that they are to go to handle a messy entity that has got so many fraudulent cases. And you see, as per Article 179 of the Constitution, clearly says for governors, you are the one who is answerable at that particular moment. So who wants to keep on bearing the burden of the former or the previous government in place?
You know what's been happening, Senator, is by and by, if you just look back, there's a move towards discrediting devolution. In some cases, it's using justifiable data. And you can see, proper data. This is the Control of Budgets report that says this is how the money that's going to devolution units is doing. This is the Auditor General's report showing how the money that goes to devolution is doing. It's highlighted a lot more than what's happening at the national level, which is similar. At the national level, it's the same thing. The Controller of Budget will come and tell us the national government has come and asked us for 6 billion shillings just like that,
Yeah.
to do some things, to do operation security here, to do state functions there, to do to pay what their ICT ministry wanted 122 million shillings outside of budget, and so on and so forth. But we don't highlight as much of that because it appears to be just one entity than the 47 units that are new.
Yes.
So there's a lot of focus onto what's
The
not
counties.
working
Yes.
in the counties.
Yeah.
And this is where the Senate comes in. Because the Senate, you should ensure that those things that are highlighted by these official reports are actionable and the action is actually taken. And the things that are highlighted that are working are also amplified. Because if the devolution dies, Senate dies.
Correct.
There's no reason to have a Senate. Senate is actually the house that protects and champions devolution.
True.
If the Senate is not championing devolution, if all the Senate is doing is sitting back and saying, we're highlighting all these issues and we've done reports and we sit back and you don't push further, then it dies. You'll be part of the larger conspiracy that I see.
Very valid question and concern. Senate is on the forefront, especially this 13th Senate. And looking at where we are coming from, whereby, like, at the current situation, whereby the National Treasury, with the current amendments, them saying that we need to reduce this. We've all refused. We are all supporting and saying, no, what the committee has recommended is what we support. And I'm happy with what senators are doing. Look at the committee levels. Today, as we speak, we stream live. And if you're keen enough, you're able to see we grill the governors completely to answer to all these questions that are in place. Yes, the issue that is there is just the issue of the timeline. In terms of this matter has been recommended for action, what is the timeline? The issue that is, the loophole that is there is that there is no exact timeline in terms of when we recommend to the EACC and say, do forensic audit, take action or this. There is no timeline that EACC, that is at EACC, that says if this governor if this report has come, then on our side as EACC, we're supposed to do this within a year. It's them.
It's open-ended.
It's open. That's the problem that is there. That's the challenge, if I would say. But then what do we do on our side? It's to keep on pushing to ensure that these matters come to a closure. Yes.
Let's conclude it there, and we thank you for joining us today. So what happens if Governor Mbadi does not release 30 billion shillings by the end of this month as promised?
We will support the governors on actually going on strike. We'll have to undermine there.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Senator Tabitha Mutinda is the Vice Chair of the Finance and Budget Committee of the Senate. She's also a member of other Senate committees. Thank you very much for joining us.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.